Fountain pens have a reputation for being very delicate instruments. However, there are those fountain pens that are absolutely bomb-proof, ones that are engineered like little tanks. I searched far and wide for a list of the absolute indestructible fountain pens that you can use for EDC, for your daily adventures, and you won't have to worry about anything happening to them. So join me today, won't you, as I give you a list of the top 5 bomb-proof fountain pens. Let's start it off with the most predictable one and then go all the way into the more obscure and interesting. So the first one is the Lamy AL Star Safari. It's basically a Lamy Safari. It's made out of aluminium, but the aluminium elevates this pen. It makes it lighter. It makes it more robust, more able to hold up to the rigors of being in your backpack. And in fact, I had a tough time really deciding between the two different iterations of the Safari because the regular ABS plastic Safari is pretty tough also. I mean, it's a hunk of Lego that you can throw in your bag, but the aluminium just notches it up a little bit. Personally, I'd love to see a metal one someday, maybe one in stainless steel or copper or some other substance, but that's a discussion for another time. But certainly the Lamy Safari platform, if you will, is very modular, so you can swap out nibs, you can swap out feeds, you can do whatever you need to do to maintain your pen even on the run. It's super easy to swap nibs even in the middle of a paragraph if you must. So it also comes in a very wide range of nibs. Extra fine, fine, medium, broad, and my personal favorite, what they call their calligraphy nib, which is really a really nice stub that just has an amazing character to it. So they have a nib that can suit any of your writing style. This is a cartridge converter fountain pen. You can use their Z28 converter to fill from a bottle and customize your ink. Put your signature ink in there. It also has a very robust clip, so you can clip it anywhere you need to on the go and it'll be there for you. It's a very nice pen for slipping into tight areas. It's just under 13 millimeters in diameter. It's about 139 millimeters long, so it's a perfect size, and with that snap cap you can take notes quickly and easily. It still retains the plastic grip. In this iteration it's translucent, which is really interesting, and it looks sort of like a jewel. Very nice touch there. So at $37, it's a very affordable option, something you don't need to worry about, both on the case of its robustness and strength, and also on the fact that it's $37, so you don't feel so bad abusing this incredible design icon. So I feel that the Lamy AL Star is the absolute perfect pen for your bomb-proof excursions. My next choice may very well be the toughest fountain pen on this list, and it is the Kaweco Bronze Sport. Now, I had a hard time picking between bronze or brass. I think they're probably similarly tough, but regardless, the bronze just has this glowing, incredible, beautiful material. The character is amazing. So this is a little bathysphere of a fountain pen. I feel like this could hold up to all sorts of abuse. You could throw this as hard as you can across a beach or across a rock field. Go pick it up and keep writing with it. It might get scratched, it might get dinged, but this thing is never breaking. It is absolutely tough, hard. It has a solid feel in the hand. It's also beautifully machined. It has a feel as if it came off some kind of a vintage ocean liner or whatnot, but it's just an incredible fountain pen for any sorts of travel or adventure. This is the sort of pen I would take with me if I were going hiking on a long excursion. I wouldn't worry at all if I dropped it onto a rock or whatnot. It is is really well made, and one of the things that I really love about it is that it's very modular as well. You can unscrew the nib and replace it with something different. It comes in a wide array of nibs from extra fine, fine, medium, broad, double broad, and a nib they call their calligraphy nib, which is a stub nib that writes magnificently. This is the nib I often go to, and on my iteration it's there. And I can't imagine how you could hurt this pen permanently unless you were to put it into a cauldron or whatnot. It's just that tough. It's just perfect as a choice for a bomb-proof fountain pen. It's 13 millimeters in diameter, 134 millimeters long. It's 45 grams, so that's hefty for a fountain pen, but what would you expect from a pen that's made out of bronze? The Kaweco Bronze Sport takes short international cartridges. I would bring a few with me. There is a little syringe converter, but it doesn't hold very much ink, even though I prefer it, but mine's usually near my desk. Now, this pen does cost $200, so that is something to think about there. What you are getting is some beautiful material, but do you really want to destroy a fountain pen that costs $200? I find myself kind of babying mine, even though I know I don't have to. So it's interesting in a way. It's almost like a Rolex watch or whatnot. You buy a Rolex Submariner because you can subject it to the depths of the ocean and beat it up, but does anyone actually do that? Well, very few people. So with this fountain pen, you certainly could really abuse it. It would get more interesting while you did, because it would patina and the scratches would look interesting and would sort of show all the different adventures you had. But for me, it would probably break my heart a little bit. I always looked at this fountain pen a bit like a work of art. I more compared it to a bronze statue than I did a piece of nautical bronze. Nevertheless, this is a tough, beautiful, functional, amazing fountain pen that's easy to stow in your gear and will hold up to any adventure. So it's perfect for this list. My next choice is a fountain pen that is not only strong, but has amazing tolerances. It's just brilliantly made. This is the Schon Design Pocket 6. Wow. Schon Design is a company that makes fountain pens in my hometown of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Ian Schon is just a wonderful guy. He's the mad genius of fountain pens, just always looking for new innovations. And this pen itself is so interesting. For one thing, it looks like an amazing tube when you reveal it. Mine's in copper, absolutely beautiful. This, by the way, was a gift from my wife, which was very lovely for my birthday one year. And I've personally had a bit of trouble thinking about abusing this pen because I've been cherishing it, but it could certainly hold up to the abuse. Look how the nib reveals. It's a large nib, not like a normal small pocket-sized nib, which you would normally find. This gives you the experience of writing with a beautiful full-size nib. And it screws together to make a full-size pen. It is 48 grams, so it's a very heavy pen. It's also just under 13 millimeters in diameter where you hold it, and it's about 132 millimeters long when posted. These take short international cartridges. They write very well. The nibs are made in Germany, but the rest of the pen is made in Philadelphia, which is pretty great. The copper will patina over time, but you can get these in other materials as well, including aluminum. If you want a very light pen, that's only 19 grams. So you have a lot of options with Ian Schon and Schon Design. Personally, I think one of the best ways to buy one of these pens is to go to a pen show, because Ian goes to many pen shows and then you can get your hands on them and see which one is right for you. This fountain pen is $162, which makes it toward the top of the range, but you are getting an American-made fountain pen finished by hand. Fantastic quality control, an absolutely bomb-proof little tank of a pen that stows away easily, that comes in its little tube that's perfect for carrying around with you as well. You can slip it in your pocket with your keys and your pocket knife. and not have to worry about anything happening to it where you couldn't use it. It is just an amazingly robust, amazingly strong, amazingly beautiful fountain pen that will get more interesting with age, with patina, with all the different adventures that you will have together. I feel like a pen like the Schon Design Pocket 6 is a pen that you bond to, that it becomes your EDC, your everyday carry pen that you take with you wherever you go, and it just becomes an extension, like an incredible expressive tool of who you are. So that makes it perfect for this list. My next choice is a bit more refined. I feel like this is more of a traveler pen, very tough to hurt it, but maybe not quite as strong as the bronze or the copper option from some of the other pens on this list. This is the Tom Studio Pocket Pen. This pen is made of aluminum. It's very light at 25 grams. It comes in a broad array of nib sizes. Tom Studio is very, very interested in giving you a wide variety of choices in your nibs and in your expressiveness. The whole idea of Tom Studio is to get writing instruments in the hands of writers and painters and people who draw and design and everything else. So they want you to be inspired with a broad array of nibs. What makes the pocket pen interesting is that you can then take those nibs wherever you go. It is a very nice refined pen for those travel adventures. I think it would be perfect for a trip to a European museum, for a day out in the countryside where you're jotting notes in your journal, your travel journal, and it feels very good in the hand. It's very light, very balanced. It's very much a full-size pen. It's one of those pocket pens that becomes a full-size pen at 165 millimeters when posted. One of the other advantages of this pen is that it goes together with friction. So there's no unscrewing that needs to be done. You simply pull it, and there's these two rubber gaskets inside, and it just comes out, and then you push it back in the other way to reveal your nib and to get writing. So in that case, this is the fastest travel pen, the fastest adventure pen, because it's almost like a snap cap. So it's very, very handy for that reason, which does make it a perfect travel pen. If you're in a museum or you're somewhere where you want to take a quick note, some of these pens are like hobby kits, where you feel like you're assembling them, you know, screwing them for a while, trying to line them up just right, and then you're going to write. By then, you might lose your train of thought. But with the Tom Studio Pocket Pen, you simply pop it out, pull it, push it back in, you're good to go. And that is an advantage while you're out in the world having your adventures. So the aluminium's very tough, it's multifaceted, it's not going to roll away on you, has a lot of really interesting designs. So it's really a superb, fantastic, bomb-proof, tough fountain pen for any of your travel or daily adventures, and perfect for EDC. It's really the quick draw thing. I think that is the point that really makes this pen. I've saved the absolute beast of a fountain pen for last. And then after, I'm going to give you some honorable mentions, including a luxury option, so stay tuned for that. But first, let me talk about the beast.
That's okay for starters. Now let's try again.
This is the Kaweco Supra. Wow. Kaweco Supra is like the Lilliput on steroids. This is a solid stainless steel pen that even has an extender. So this is a very large, very girthy fountain pen that is a tube of stainless steel that I feel like you could protect yourself with if you got into an altercation. It is that tough, that heavy and robust, and it has some really interesting features. It has a number 6 Bach nib, so just like with Schon, you're getting a full-size nib in a relatively portable version. I mean, the Supra is super. It's pretty large, it's more tough than portable. It also weighs 49 grams, so I believe it's the heaviest pen on this list as well, so keep that in consideration. Now this pen costs $130, which makes it more affordable than some of the other options. The thing that does detract from this pen for me, and the reason why I don't use it very much, is that there is a lot of screwing and unscrewing to get this pen right, and sometimes I unscrew it in the wrong spot because that extender piece is very nice, but I sometimes forget it's there, and then I'm sort of opening the pen up and, you know, I'm just trying to write and I'm wondering what I'm doing. I get lost. And even when I do it right, I do feel that by the time I unscrew the cap and then screw it on the back, it just seems like minutes have passed. But nevertheless, this is a very, very tough pen. Maybe I wouldn't bring it to a cold climate because the metal might stick to your hand. But beside that, it is absolutely tough. I just feel like if it were to fall from a great height or anything else, I can't see anything but maybe a scratch happening to this amazingly robust fountain pen. And that is the point of this exercise. Which are the strongest? Which are the toughest? Which are the most tank-like? Now, let me challenge myself, and I'm doing this off the fly. Out of all of these, which is my favorite? Well, I'm going to exclude the Lamy Safari in the AL iteration because I do love that pen, and I think it's a bit unfair to include that. But between the Kaweco Bronze, the Kaweco Supra, the Tom Studio Pocket Pen, the Schon Pocket 6, which would be my favorite, I must say, it would be the Kaweco Bronze Sport. It is just an amazing little platform to write with. It's fun to use, and after a while it's easier to open. It sort of spins open and it fits in your hand very well. And I love their nibs. I love the material. I've heard people complain about a metallic smell. I don't get that. So I don't know if it's just me, the way my body reacts with it, but very faint, if anything, for me. I do feel that the Tom Studio Pocket Pen is fantastic for how quick you can write with it, but it is a little long for my taste, so that detracts from it. But these are all very, very strong, very interesting fountain pens that would serve you well in any sort of adventure setting. But if I had to choose one, it's the Kaweco Bronze. Okay, let me get into some runner-ups. So I almost put the Pilot Vanishing Point on this list. It is a very strong pen, and of course it protects the nib when you don't click it open. But I was thinking that clicking mechanism could fail on you after a while. I mean, mine never has, but I was looking for absolutely simple and bomb-proof design, and I thought that's just a little overcomplicated with the door opening and the clicking and all that, so I didn't include it, but I was close. Another one I seriously considered, and this is the luxury option, was the Visconti Homo Sapiens in that beautiful lava resin, which is supposed to be indestructible, but as you've heard me say before, I've never tested it, so how do I know? And it was tempting to have a luxury option on here, but I just didn't feel strong enough, and especially with a vac filler and those nibs and the issues they can have, it's not exactly an adventure pen, so I left it off the list. Well, let me know what you think. Did I miss any tough fountain pens that you would recommend? Put it in the comments so everyone can learn from it. I appreciate it. And if you've made it to this point in this video and you haven't subscribed, please do. I'd love to have you on this journey with us. We go to some amazing places. And if you want to support the channel even more, membership is available. We have a pen pal group for Illuminati and Cognoscenti members. So join the channel, help keep the lights on, and make some new friends. So I make new videos every week, and I have a live show as well, so I can promise you we will see each other again very, very soon, further up the road, so keep having adventures.